Let's talk about it. If you want to throw it on a Carolina rig, let me tell you what I would do. What's up, everybody? Thank you for clicking on the video. Echo! There's a little bit of an echo today. I'm in the middle of a complete and total garage overhaul. If you guys have been following along for any amount of time, you know that about once or twice a year, I completely rearrange, clean, break down, reorganize, rearrange. I may have already said rearrange, but I completely redo my garage, get it totally cleaned up, sweep out every piece of loose leaf and dust in the entire place, vacuum it out, get it nice and clean, organized, everything up off the floor. I'm in the middle of doing that right now. Also, if you look behind me, you'll see that we've done a little tackle wall expansion. Got a couple more panels up there, a little bit more real estate so we can hang up some more baits. Tackle pile, tackle mile, tackle pile, tackle 2 miles. Stoked on that. Apologize for the echo, but let's get off into today's video. Today, we're gonna be unboxing this month's 6-sack from 6 Cents Fishing. And I'm a couple days late, so I'm not gonna waste any more time. We're just gonna crack off into this sucker and see what they've sent out this month. Now, you guys, if you're watching this video, you're probably familiar with the 6-sack or with monthly bait subscription services. This is 6 Cents Fishing's version of those bait bundles or bait boxes, bait bags, bait sacks, bait bonanzas, bait delivery. Pizza's here. The pizza bait deliveries, you know, every month. Man, the echo is driving me nuts. Usually I have something up behind the camera to kind of deaden that, but it is so emptied out in here and there's just so much room for activities and there's so much room for sound to bounce around. I like controlled lighting, so I don't film with the garage door open like I used to. Makes it echo. As you can see, no table behind me. Tackle table gone. We're going for a clean, nice, organized look here. Wide open spaces and cleanliness is the theme, and yeah, you know, that just comes along with a little bit of an echo, so I apologize. We'll figure it out. So I'm still working on it a little bit. I'll make sure that I show you guys the full finished product of the garage in a future video. I'll get that echo under control, but for now, we're just gonna have to ride with it anyways. I digress. I sort of just hit the exit ramp and went off the highway down onto the service road. I turned onto a back street, ended up in an alleyway somewhere. But anyways, back to the 6-sack. Heaters delivered to your doorstep on a monthly basis. If you guys are interested in becoming a member of the 6-sack subscription service after you watch this video, check out 6centsfishing.com and use my code JR6SACK to save $10 off your first sack. Secure the heaters, save the bread, build your tackle pile, tackle mile from the house without ever having to leave your driveway. But anyways, let's go ahead and get off into this month's sack. I hear there's some heat in here. I know a lot of you guys watching this video already know what's in the box. Everybody been posting it up on the Facebook groups and all that stuff on the social medias. But every month, right here on this channel, live and direct and full effect, we slice off into the box and we take a look at what came in the 6-sack. I've never missed an unboxing ever since I signed up for this thing, and I'm not gonna start now. So let's crack off into this sucker and see what we got this month. The April 2023 6-sack from 6 Cents Fishing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go. It's going down. I hear there's a new bait in here. We may or may not have looked at it here on the channel before. We're gonna find out right now. Sorry to interrupt, really quick, I just want to let you guys know heater hats are back in stock on theheaterzone.com. The website is linked down below in the video description. Check them out. Pick up a piece of merch. I got multiple styles, multiple colors, something for everybody. Theheaterzone.com, hats are back. The 6-sack. I'm gonna start off with a hard bait this month. I've been grabbing soft plastics out of here. This time we're gonna go hard bait. Big box, what is it? Hey, Provoke 106X, Shad Surge. I think that may be a new color. Check it out. The Provoke 106X, 6 Cents staple hard plastic jerkbait, slow floating / suspending Shad Surge, Provoke 106X. Check this sucker out. We got chrome body. What is that, purple? What is that, blue? It's royal blue on the top there. The color of the bait that I hold in my hand is royal blue. Ah! Bright orange belly, and she's a heater. That's an excellent way to kick off this month's sack. The 106X, the Provoke hard plastic jerkbait. I'm throwing this on my 6'9" medium moderate heater series rod, but somebody asked me what a good jerkbait rod would be outside of the heater series in my DMs over on Instagram at the Justin Royal, and I told them that 6'10" medium ESP, that's an excellent jerkbait rod for the 106X, but either one of those rods will do. Throwing that on like 12 to 15 pound fluorocarbon, just giving it the old pops and rod twitches. And that right there is a heater of a bait. I'm digging the chrome on the sides and that blue on the back. Nice, man, not a bad way to kick off the sack. I'm gonna put this back in the box, hang it up back there on the tackle wall. I got some rows full of Provokes, Shad Surge. That's a new one on me, and that reminds me of one of my favorite things about the 6 sack. It encourages or forces me to try colors that I never would have tried on my own. This is a new one for me, a color that I didn't already have in my tackle arsenal. Stoked to add it to the wall. This is another one of the new colors. Just pulled this one down off the wall. This is that Bloodline. Check that thing out. Super heater. Anyways, let's keep rolling. Cooper! Oh, Cooper was in there screaming in the house. He got the separation anxieties. He don't like it when I shut him in the house and come out here in the garage and shoot a video. Here comes all the dogs. You boys don't bump the camera. Keep it cool. Sorry for the echo. All right, here we go. What's next? My favorite square bill. Hey, one of my favorite colors. I love this bait. This is a bait that I actually do own. This is a color that I do throw, and it's one that I stay stocked up on. This is my favorite chartreuse style color from 6 Sense. This is the blue true shad. In my favorite square bill of all time, caught so many fish, it's so many giant fish on the Crush 50X. Beautiful, bright, vibrant chartreuse sides with the most incredible aqua blue back, little orange and red accents, red eyes. As always, on all 6 Sense hard baits, you're getting premium laser sharp black knuckle hooks and premium hardware as well. You do not need to upgrade the hardware or the hooks. They're ready to go straight out of the box. And the Crush 50X and Blue Truce Shad is one that I do already have a lot of. I always keep this one in the boat and back here on the tackle wall. Let's see, there's a whole row of them right there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a whole row of this bait right here. I love this bait. Pretty stoked to see this in the sack alongside a color that I haven't already had before. This one is one that I have confidence in. It's an incredible color. It's an incredible bait. The Crush 50X, again, throwing this on my 6'9" medium moderate heater series rod, 12 to 15 pound fluorocarbon, banging through the cover up shallow, 2 to 5 feet. The Crush 50X, my favorite all around square bill crankbait for all waters, all conditions. This right here is a super heater, and I'm stoked to see it in this month's sack. That's 2 winners so far, in my opinion. Let's throw this up on the wall and keep it rolling. Another one. Pretty stoked on that, not gonna lie. Let's move. What else do we got in this month's sack? Another hard bait. Another one of my favorite square bills. Another one that I've caught a ton of fish on. But this isn't a color that I've thrown too much. Blaze. Blaze is over there barking at everything. He's such a guard dog, dude. Anything out of place, Blaze is barking at it, keeping it in check. But the Curve Finesse, the Curve 55 Finesse square bill. Let's talk about it. Mud gill is the color. Orange, red, blue, green, black. Got that Rasta vibe going on this bait. The Curve Finesse, modeled after the Curve 55, same body as the Curve 55, but it has a small square finesse bill. This bait right here is one of my super confidence go-to hard baits. Like if they're short striking something, if they're not quite committing to the bigger square bills, I'll pick up this Curve Finesse and absolutely destroy. I love this bait in the shad scales color or just in plain 4K shad. Let me grab one of those for you right now. We'll compare it to this mud gill. This right here, super bright, vibrant, colorful. But if I'm being honest, I like to throw the shad patterns, like that shad scales right there. Either way, the Curve Finesse square bill, awesome. Such a fun little offering from 6 Sense. I have a blast throwing this bait. Again, that's 3 for 3 on the 6'9" medium moderate heater series for the equipment that I would use to throw all the baits that we've seen so far in this month's sack. I got a feeling there's something in there we're gonna need something a little bit heavier for, but This right here, that 6'9" medium moderate heater is just super versatile. So really I use it to throw a lot of stuff. And this bait right here, again, is one of them. In the mudgill. Don't think I had this color already. That's another one that I'm adding to my tackle wall that I didn't already have before this month's sack. This right here and the Crush 50X, my two favorite square bills. Caught more fish on those two square bill crankbaits than any others ever. You know, that Chester Cheeto, that's a Crush 50X, you know, the legendary Chester Cheeto radiation craw. You know, this one right here, I got a row or two of these bad boys on the tackle wall as well. But let's keep this month's 6 sack rocking. I hear there's a new bait in here. I'm excited to bust it out and talk about it. We're gonna keep it rolling with the hard baits. That's 3 hard baits, 3 confidence hard baits, a jerk bait, 2 square bills. Doesn't get much more fun than those right there. In my opinion, I absolutely love throwing the square bill crankbaits. Have a blast. Let's see what else we got. The Swank 77X. Now this is a little bit different bait right here. This is the Swank 77X grass crankbait is really what this one is. This one right here is designed to come through the grass. That's where it shines, in heavy grass, heavy hydrilla. The Swank 77X, Swank the tank, as my buddy Casey calls it. This right here is a grass killer. Those hydrilla gorillas gonna smoke this thing in the heavy greenage. It's that boiled crawfish color. As you can see, it has this L-shaped lip that allows it to come through the grass like nobody's business. I don't know how it works, some kind of voodoo magic, but that bad boy right there comes through grass so well, even with those big treble hooks. It's a really loud rattle, super loud, making a lot of noise coming through the greenage. That boiled crawfish is gonna get their attention. Awesome, dude. Another sick hard bait in this month's 6 sack. I have me a row of Swank 77Xs on the tackle wall that I will be adding this Swank to as well. Next up, out of this month's sack, we got the Carolina pre-rig, some little terminals tackles. So the Carolina pre-rig, Carolina rig ready to go. You don't gotta fumble with all the hardware mumbo jumbo of rigging up your own Carolina rig. The 6 cents Carolina pre-rig is good to go. You got the high quality cable leader. You got the high quality swivels and hardware. You got a couple beads on there. You got the little circle bead in the center, clicking and clacking, making a little noise. And then you got that big tungsten weight right there. The Carolina pre-rig, making your Carolina rigs easy, and you don't have to take a lot of time to like do the whole, you know, a lot of times I'll use like 2 peg stoppers on one side of the weight, 2 peg stoppers on the other side, or tying up your own swivels and your own. This just takes all the guesswork and all the terminal rigging out of the Carolina rig. This one right here is an ounce. This is a 1 ounce Carolina rig, the old ball and chain. This right here is gonna make your life so much easier when it comes to rigging up a Carolina. And I think there's probably a bait to go along with a Carolina rig in here to make sure that there's nothing, maybe some hooks. Let's see if we got hooks. We got hooks. There we go. 5-piece, 5/0 jugular hybrid hooks. These are right here, man. Little worm hook. Nice. They go along great with your Carolina rig. 6 cents makes some really high quality terminal tackle. The jugular hybrid hook is one that I have a box full of. It's that 5/0, match up with that Carolina pre-rig. Let's see what soft plastic they sent out this month, and then maybe we'll rig us up a Carolina rig and talk about how I would drag the thing around and what I'm looking for and what's going on in my head when I'm fishing a Carolina rig. But next up out of the sack, we got a new bait this month, boys. We got the new worm. Let's take a look at it. Set that terminal tackle down for a second. If you guys watched my last video, you saw me unveil this worm here on the channel, talk about it. I didn't say the name because I wasn't sure if I was supposed to, but as you can see right there on the package, it says Busa worm. This is the new Busa ribbon tail 9.6 from 6 Cents Fishing, and I am so stoked on this. I've actually already been out fishing with it, already been catching fish on it. Plum fleck is the color of this particular Busa worm. 9.6 inch ribbon tail. Also, I gotta mention, I accidentally called it a curly tail worm in my last video, and you guys corrected me, always keeping me in check down there in the comments. I do appreciate that. My mistake, I misspoke. This is not a curly tail worm. It is, in fact, a ribbon tail, and I appreciate you guys keeping me in line when it comes to this stuff. Making YouTube videos, it's really easy to say the wrong thing sometimes, and to be honest with you, I'm still learning right along with you guys, so I will make mistakes from time to time. But the Busa worm, again, really excited about this. Been out fishing with it already, caught fish on it already. It comes in some incredible colors, but some of the things that set this ribbon tail worm apart from some of the other offerings on the market. First up, got these little giblets on the tail, these little sections right here, something a little different. Looks like a little rattlesnake tail. Really soft, high quality plastic in this. I mean, the plastisol that they've used to create this bait is so nice, really soft, full of action, tons of action. And it has these ribbed sections all the way up and down the body. We talked a little bit about this before, but those ribbed sections gonna add a lot of secondary action, create some extra commotion in the water, help those fish pick up on the bait's movement with that lateral line, but it's also gonna slow the fall. It's gonna catch water, slow that fall down a little bit, give it a little bit more natural action, especially if you're fishing it on a Texas rig, unpegged. But I have a feeling that 6th Sense had the Carolina rig in mind when they sent out this month's sack. So let's talk a little bit about a Carolina rig. I've had you guys ask me some questions on it in the DMs again over there on Instagram. You guys follow me at the Justin Royal if you're not already. Check out the 6 sack, JR 6 sack for $10 off. Secure the heaters, save the bread, and support the channel at the same time. Shout outs to the JR 6 sack army, the JR 10 army, and the almighty heater army for all of your love and support. I could not do this without you guys. And I just want to take a minute right here, right now, to say thank you sincerely from the bottom of my freaking heart. You guys are incredible. You ride with me like no other. The JR10 Army, the Heater Army, and the Heater family is stronger than all. We're a small YouTube channel, just a blip, barely a blip on the radar in the grand scheme of things, but we have one of the most powerful and influential families on the internet. And I could never thank you guys enough. I love you. I appreciate you all. Much love. Thanks for riding with me. Let's talk about a Carolina rig, shall we? The new Boosa worm. Don't sleep on the new Boosa worm, coming soon from 6th Sense Fishing. If you got a 6 sack this month, then you've already got this bait. Stoked on this one. Really excited. It's gonna fill a little gap in the 6th Sense soft plastic lineup that has existed for a while. I feel like we've had the ridge worm, which is a little bit different take on a ribbon tail. This right here, a little bit more of the classic version, but with some modern upgrades, extremely high quality, designed and made in the USA, the Plum Fleck Boosa Ribbon Tail 9.6 from 6th Sense Fishing. Let's talk about it. If you want to throw it on a Carolina rig, let me tell you what I would do. Now, when it comes to setups, I got a few options here for you. First up, I'm gonna mention my 7.5 Heavy Fast Heater Series rod. This is my all-around go-to bottom contact Texas rig, some spider webs on it, Texas rig, jig rod, frogging rod, top water rod, and this right here is the new mini draw. Been throwing the draw a lot on this rod, loving it for the mini draw as well. The 7.5 Heavy Fast Heater Series would make a great Carolina rig rod. Next up, you guys have seen me fishing with this here recently, throwing that big swim bait onto beds for spawning females, but this is the Sensory Series 7.7 Heavy Fast, also an excellent Carolina rig rod. I feel like this might be the best out of the 3 that I'm about to show you. A little bit longer, still heavy fast action. That's what I'm going for, heavy fast, or even an extra heavy fast, something with a lot of backbone and a fast tip. But you need some sensitivity when you're dragging along the bottom. And the Sensory Series is one of the higher end offerings from 6th Sense when it comes to rods. Extremely sensitive, high quality. Honestly, outside of the Heater Series, the Sensory Series is my favorite. And I absolutely love these rods. JR10 for 10% off every Sensory Series rod. This is my dog Blaze right here. You can barely see him, he's off camera. He wants to play fetch, but I can't do that right now, Blaze. Please go away, let me film this video. JR10 to knock 10% off, not just the Sensory Series, but every 6th Sense rod. But the Sensory Series 7.7 Heavy is probably the one that I would go with when it comes to the Carolina rig. This is the one that I would rig that up on. Right now, probably off the top of my head, if I was gonna go fish that sucker immediately. But I also wanna mention this as well. This is the cream of the crop, top of the line, the USA Custom Series, handmade in the USA with all top tier components, top tier blanks. This is the 7.4 Mag Heavy, the 7.4 Heavy Fast. It's another really killer Carolina rig rod. As you can see, I got a little flipping setup on there right now, heavyweight, but I think I'm going with that 7.7 Sensory so that I can get the length, the power, and the sensitivity, because you're gonna need to be in tune when you're dragging that Carolina rig around. Let's rig it up, and then I'll talk to you guys about some things that are going on down there underneath the water when you're dragging that old ball and chain around, trying to catch yourself a freaking dragon. Blaze wants to play fetch. We gotta work right now, buddy. We gotta make a video. Let me see if I can get him to jump up here one time for you guys. Up, up. Oh, he's almost there. Get it, get it. Yes, yes. Oh, Blaze. Anyways, Blaze, come on, man, go. I don't know what I was saying. 2, 3. Oh, Blaze is over here just wanting to play fish the whole time. You guys haven't seen him in a while, but here's my boy Blaze. He's big. We weighed him earlier today. He weighs 47 pounds. He's 9 months old. He's a Dutch Shepherd. He doesn't like looking at the camera, but I'm gonna spin him around so you guys can see him. He dropped his ball. There he goes. Anyways, there was Blaze, or there was half a Blaze. You couldn't really see all of him. As you guys can tell, he's growing fast, growing like a weed, and he goes to training tomorrow. He's going to get some professional working dog training, and we're doing some really exciting stuff with Blaze. I don't want to get too off into that, but I'm gonna miss my boy, and I'm kind of sad that he's leaving, but he's gonna be a much better dog when he gets home, and the people that he's working with are top tier. Can't wait to see what they can do with them. But let's get back to the Carolina rig. First things first, let's cut this swim bait off. We're not gonna need this right now. You have served your country well, sir. Caught a lot of good fish on this bait right here. You guys go watch my bed fishing videos if you want to see how good the sweep from 6th Sense dominates when you throw it into a bed, targeting those big female dragons. But the name of the game right now is gonna be the Carolina rig. So what I'm gonna do, so that I don't have to go dig out a spool of line, is I'm gonna cut off a section of my line here for the leader. That's probably too long, but go ahead and slip that right there. You guys hang on to that. You want heavy line. You know, when you're fishing the Carolina rig, you don't want to go too light. 17-pound minimum, I would say. You're gonna be dragging around down there in the stuff, in the junk, and you want a little bit of durability on the line, especially if you're throwing it into heavy cover or around zebra mussels like I will be. Like I said, the Carolina pre-rig, taking out all the guesswork, really easy. Normally you'd have to rig up all this stuff yourself, tie multiple swivels onto a leader and do whatever method you would use to tie up a Carolina rig. I'll be honest with you guys, this isn't my favorite way to fish, and it's not something that I do too often, but it is effective. And if you guys saw Ben Milliken's videos from when he was fishing the opens, this is one of the baits that he used to win that sucker. I'm gonna talk to you guys about a couple other baits that do really well on the Carolina rig, in addition to the Busa worm, after we get this tied up and rigged up so that we can take a look. I'm gonna tie a San Diego jam knot really quick. You guys go down in the comments right now, let me know what's your favorite fishing knot. San Diego jam, that's the one that I use 99.8% of the time. I use a Palomar for drop shot, and that's about it. The rest of the time it's usually San Diego jam. Love this knot, super strong, never had it fail on me. I do 8 wraps under that loop down at the bottom, back up through the top loop. Always make sure wet your line. Boom. San Diego jam. Secured. Snip that tag end off of there. Now, I'm gonna come back and grab my leader line. Thanks for holding that for me. I'm gonna tie this onto the other end of the Carolina pre-rig. Again, San Diego Jam Band 5000. What's your guys' favorite fishing knot to throw? The San Diego Jam, it's a really secure knot. It's a strong one. It's the one that I have a lot of confidence in, and that's the one that I like to use. San Diego Jam. Boom. 1, 2. Now we got our Carolina pre-rig secured to our 20-pound Seaguar fluorocarbon on our 7.7 heavy fast sensory series rod. Last thing we need to do is take this leader section and secure a hook to it. I'm gonna go about that far. I don't wanna go much further than that because you're gonna have all this dangling when you go to make your cast. So you could get some really good action by leaving it really long like that, but I'm gonna go down to like right here just for castability's sake. Like 1.5 to 2 foot max is where I like to go with the Carolina rig. So we'll snip that off. And then the last step before we get to the fun part is to secure our hook to that leader material. One more time. San Diego jam. All right. Oh! Okay. Now, there's a look at the whole schmagoo right there. There's the whole enchilada, boys. We got the hook, we got the leader, we got the Carolina pre-rig, AKA high quality cable, beads, swivels, 1 ounce tungsten. Then we got our jugular hook down here. Now the only thing we have left to do now is get our soft plastic rigged up on this hook. Now in addition to the Busa worm, I mentioned that I was gonna talk to you guys about a couple other good Carolina rig options. And I'm sure you guys probably already know where I'm going with this. By no means am I the first person to use this bait for this application. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't influenced by the homie Ben when it comes to throwing the hog walla on the Carolina rig. Really, you can go any way you want to with this. Soft plastic worm, fluke style bait, stroker craw or prawn. The prawn would be really good, but I feel like the hog walla, green pumpkin juice hog walla, that's like primo Carolina rig territory. So let's get one rigged up and we'll talk about how I would fish it, and then we'll wrap this video up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button if you enjoy tackle unboxings or fishing videos in general. This hook is a little on the large side for the hog walla, but we're gonna make it work for the video's sake. You guys can see there how good that hog walla looks on that hook. A lot of action, a lot of freaking legs and appendages and tentacles and whatever hanging off of that hog walla. Gonna give it a lot of action when you're dragging the Carolina rig down there on the bottom. Now, when it comes to fishing the Carolina rig, this is the slow play. This is 9 holes of par 5 golf. It's not putt-putt, it's not checkers, it's chess. This is not a speed game. This isn't how fast can you go. This is slowing down, dragging across the bottom, throwing out there, letting it sink, wait until you know the bait is on the bottom, and then just pulling it along with your rod, taking up a little bit of slack with your reel handle, repeat. That's kind of what's going on. You got this weight down there on the bottom, keeping that bottom contact, and then you've got your soft plastic bait dragging slowly behind it and coming over cover with nothing attached to the front to hold it down. So it's gonna get a really natural presentation. But another thing that it's gonna do, it's gonna help hey, Blaze. Another thing that it's gonna do is it's gonna help keep those fish from feeling the weight. Blaze, shh. It's gonna help those fish keep from feeling the pressure from the weight when they decide to take a shot at this thing. So when the fish bites it, it's gonna give you a little bit more time, a little bit more reaction time, and a little bit of a longer chance to set the hook on those fish. They're just gonna bite the bait and they're not really gonna feel that pressure. It's gonna give them time to pick it up, put it in their mouth, swim off with it a little bit before they feel the pressure from the weight. The fish will spit that bait if they feel that line coming through their mouth and they feel something pulling back. That's a lot of times when you feel those fish spit that bait back out. The Carolina rig is gonna give them an opportunity to eat this thing all the way before you can set the hook. Now, when it comes to setting the hook, you're gonna have to really be dialed in. A lot of times, you're not gonna feel the bite so much. You're not gonna feel a thump. You will feel a thump at times, especially if they really eat it. But a lot of times when you're fishing these bottom contact baits, like a Carolina rig or a drop shot, the fish are just gonna suck the bait up and put it in their mouth, and it's just gonna feel different. It's gonna feel mushy is kind of how I describe it. Or sometimes they'll just pick it up and start swimming with it and your line will be moving and you'll be like, what is going on? Crack a hook set and there's a fish on there. So you will feel the bite sometimes, but sometimes, even a lot of times, you won't. So you need that sensitive rod. You need to really be paying attention to what your bait is doing in the water. If it gets gummy, if it gets mushy, if it gets muddy, hook sets are free. Go ahead and crack them and see if you've got a fish on, because a lot of times that's exactly what's happening. The Carolina rig, not something that I have supreme confidence in and not something that I fish all the time, but it's an absolute big fish catcher. I have friends, multiple friends that have caught giant fish on this bait right here. I know people who have caught double digits on this bait when they practically wouldn't eat anything else. It's an excellent bait for the dead of summer when it gets super hot and those fish are slow down there on the bottom, just dragging the old ball and chain around. Can be a producer, and it's something that I plan on honing my skills with this coming year, and I'm looking forward to getting out there, dragging around a hog walla, dragging around the new Busa worm. That's the bait that I'm most excited about out of the sack. 6 cents hooking it up this month with a new bait drop in the 6 sack before anyone else has had an opportunity to get their hands on this particular soft plastic. So that's cool. Something cool that they do oftentimes in the 6 sack is they'll throw out exclusive colors or early access to baits that haven't been released yet. that you can only get your hands on if you're a 6SAC subscriber. It's an exclusive membership service. They have a certain amount of slots that they open up, and once they're filled, they shut it off. So keep your eyes on 6censfishing.com if you want to sign up. Use my code JR6SAC to knock $10 off the price of that first sack. It's a $50+ value, but you're gonna get the price of that first sack down to like 28 bucks if you use JR6SAC. But maybe you don't like somebody else picking out your heaters. Maybe you like to shop around and hand select your heat. That's cool. I got you. 6censfishing.com, JR10 for the win. Use JR10 at checkout to save 10% off everything on the website. The rods, the baits, the terminal tackle, the gear, the apparel, everything. Secure the heater, save the bread, support the channel at the same time with JR10. Send me a screenshot on Instagram for a shout out. I appreciate you all. Shout outs to 6 Cents for hooking it up with another pack of the Busa worms. If you've got a 6SAC this month and you have your hands on the Busa worm as well, if you know anything about a Carolina rig and you like fishing this bait and you want to drop some knowledge down in the comments, please do so. Shout outs to everybody that uses that JR10 code. Once again, sincerely could not do this without you, and thank you to the almighty Heater Army for supporting us over here on YouTube. You guys can click the top link down below the video if you want to learn more about that. I appreciate you all for taking time out of your day to watch this video, but that's about all I got for you. That about does it. That about wraps her on up. So I'm gonna say goodbye for now, and I will see you on the next one. Echo!